Hi guys, Jess here. So today I'm going to be talking about Kalanchoes or Kalanchoes or however you call them. Specifically the Kalanchoe Panda or the Kalanchoe Chocolate Soldier. I'm talking about like the fuzzier types that have the fuzzy leaves. I know there's a bunch of other different types of Kalanchoes, but I'm not exactly sure if the propagation is the same. This is the one that I'm most familiar with. So I thought I would give you guys a video on that today. Currently, all my big Kalanchoes that I would normally pull leaves from are in arrangements or are too small to like do anything with because I've used them all recently. So on my succulent wreath is really, I just knocked a succulent off. I'm gonna go get it. Poor little guy. Sad. We'll just use him somewhere else. Anyways, so my Kalanchoes here, these are really the only ones I have that are big enough to really pull anything off of. This is my succulent wreath, which I will post a video of it if you have not seen it already. But real fun. I have one over there too. So I'm gonna just pull a leaf off of this to kind of show you how I do it. It's not extremely challenging, but yeah. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to do this on this guy here. This one's a little dehydrated just because it's on this wreath form. So ideally you would want one that's a lot thicker. Like here, I'll show you an example. This is pretty dehydrated. It's able to be moved a lot. If we come over here, like this one, he has a lot more resistance. So this one's a much better leaf because he has a lot more water in him, so he's gonna do a lot better. But on this one, you just wanna get at that base, and I just kinda take my nail and get under it and twist it off. Doesn't have to be perfect. These ones are really forgiving. Something like the Lola or the Allegra, when you're doing leaf propagation, you really want to make that nice clean snap. This one doesn't necessarily always have it. It will have like a little cut spot you can see on this one that it's really green here. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's how this one's going to behave. So now if we come over here, I have a couple different things I wanted to show you. So this is the new leaf that we just made. You can see that green watery side here. I'm gonna let this sit in like a bowl or on a plate or in the shade somewhere for probably a week and just leave him there. And then these three I pulled a couple days ago, probably a week or two ago, and you can see that it's really calloused over, and that is what you're going for, is this callous look, because that's gonna make sure that there's a nice barrier that prevents it from getting any water in the leaves and causing them to rot. So that stuff is really important for these guys. So here's just a little comparison for you. You really want to make sure that these are calloused over. These ones are going to perform so much better than this one just because he's super flexible, doesn't have much water. These ones are all pretty firm. So then here's my propagation tray, ta-da, that I did an update on recently. Lost another one here to rot. I just watered it, probably watered it too much, but whatever, you lose some, it doesn't matter. But I have a whole row of Kalanchoes here, and Kalanchoes grow somewhat slowly, but they usually are one of my first ones to start. So this one and this one don't have anything yet, they just have roots. But as you can see here, if I can move this leaf a little bit, I put them way too close. There's a little nice baby there, and there's another one there. And then I have another one over here. This one is really tall. He must not have gotten very much light, but he's trying to stretch out around that plant and get some. So then I have this little guy, and he's just such a fun little pot of cuteness. I just had 3 random leaves and I threw them in this pot at a little angle. They are all doing really well, as you can see. But yeah, they're all growing multiple little things. I don't even know which ones belong to which at this point. I'm probably gonna let them grow in here a little bit longer just until the leaf starts to get a little mushy. These ones are still extremely hard, but I do water this. So like with any propagation, I don't do anything really different with Kalanchoes than I do with my other succulents. I water them about once a week. I give them sun. But yeah, so they'll eventually get bigger. They're a little bit slower though. Like this, I've had probably a couple of months. The other thing that is really neat about Kalanchoes in comparison to succulents that, you know, like my Lilicenas or my mystery succulent here, I'm trying to figure him out still, or like my Opalinas or, you know, any of the Echeverias, is that you can actually take this guy and cut it into thirds. I mean, I take it into thirds. I'm sure you could do more. But yeah, so I'm sorry that was a little messy. I couldn't hold the camera and cut. But I essentially just cut this little guy up into thirds. I don't think I can put them back together again, but you let these callus over because you can see they're nice and juicy, but you would want to let these callus over before you add them to the tray to water them, and they should grow roots. So the other unique thing, you know, about Kalanchoes is that you can cut them into those thirds, and that will really spread out your succulent propagation a lot farther. I just didn't do it for whatever reason. I think I'm just not used to propagating that way. I think I'm used to like laying down the whole leaf, and that is why I didn't cut all mine up, although I should have, because I would have probably gotten a lot more. Maybe if you're worried about it, don't try that right away, but what you could do is you could take a couple of them and cut them into thirds or halves or whatever and see, you know, how they perform against your other ones. Because I have had random leaves break in half and then have babies come out of them. I had one last year, but I don't know what happened to it. So, I know it's possible because I've had it happen, but otherwise, if you guys have any Kalanchoe specific questions, you can definitely leave them down below. I would love to answer them for you. So this was part of my succulent propagation series, if you can kind of call it that, I guess. If you guys have questions about a specific succulent, or you want to know how to propagate a specific succulent, definitely leave the name of it down below. Otherwise, you can email me, and that is also going to be in the description box, as well as my social media accounts, which you should go give a follow to. But I'm going to be taking a list of those and seeing which ones I can do. This Kalanchoe was one of them. So I hope this helps whoever suggested that. Really make sure that you're letting those callus over. Otherwise, there's really no secret to it other than letting it get a lot of light and watering it about once a week or whenever the soil is dry. You definitely don't want to overwater it either, because that can lead to rot as well. So definitely just make sure that your soil is completely dry before you try to water it again. And having a pot that has drainage as well as succulent specific soil, which I'll include a link down to below. I just use that Miracle Grow cactus and succulent soil. I buy mine at Home Depot, but I'll include a link to Amazon if you need it. But I don't ever have a problem with my Kalanchoes propagating them this way, and so I hope that this helps you guys. So definitely leave your succulents you want to see propagated down below, and I will try to get to those. And have a great weekend. Bye.